Hi everyone and welcome to today's YouTube hop. So today's a YouTube hop to celebrate Wow Embossing Powder's new release. Now as part of the new release they are releasing some trios and some individual pots, and these guys are beautiful. I'm going to be using the Ancient Jewels trios in my card today, which you can see in the die cut letters, and this Ancient Jewels consists of three beautiful gold ultra high mix. So it's a bit of a custom blend inspired by Raquel Borrello Perez. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Apologies if I did. Now you can see this one here is the Decadent Ruby, and what I've done is I actually make my panels when I'm swatching and I want to get a really good view of my powders. I actually make almost like a 5x7 panel. It's a little bit on the big side. Sometimes I'll just make a normal card front. This one here, this is the Egyptian turquoise, and the last one is the Royal Emerald. So because I make these larger panels, I love it for die cutting letters, big leaves, florals, accents, even the layered words. I love them for that as well. So you can usually die cut then heat emboss. I just wanted to get a good overall view on this, and this is something I've always done with my heat embossing. And what I also do is I also see how it goes on pastes, especially in the Sparkle and Earth Sparkle collection from Wow Embossing. I tend to either make my own glitter paste, or I just literally put a glossy paste, transparent paste, or an opaque paste, and I just pour it over. And it just gives you a good visual on, you know, the actual product itself. Now, what I've got is I've got the Julie Hickey lowercase alphabet die. I've also got a Julie Hickey floral stamp set. Floral stamp set is called Floral Fancies. Now, what I've done is I've secured the alphabet dies here with some washi tape and ran it through my electronic die cutting machine. I've got the Couture Creations. I'm here in Australia, so I've got access to Couture Creations, and Couture Creations does an electronic die cutting machine version as well. So once I needed a little bit of help with my tool in one to pop out the dies and the die cut. And then I'm using my mini Misty here to help. The reason why I've got a Copic friendly ink, which is the Ultra New Permanent Black in the Crisp Ink Collection range. I use this for my Copic colorings, but instead of Copics today, I am using another version of alcohol markers, and these are the Artist markers from Ultra New. Now this is the set D. Now I've used the blue-green markers because it matched the Egyptian turquoise die cuts that I ended up using. So I did choose Egyptian turquoise for the letters, and I had not prepped this stamp, so my bad. I need a stamp twice, and this is why I have a Misty, purely for these reasons. Now I've used the largest of the floral and a set of leaves to color in. Now for the white cardstock, I've actually used Copic friendly cardstock, and that's really just good for more alcohol base, so it layers well, it blends well, and it works great for your coloring. So to start off with, I'm going to be using the lightest marker. Now I believe this is the B802, and then I work to B714, and I have the B635. They do have another one in there. They've got three of the turquoise colors, or the bluey greeny turquoise colors, tealy colors, and it's B815. So there's a couple of four in that collection. And then I also use the neutrals in the same collection as well for the browns. What I do with my colouring, I'm no colouring expert, and I will declare that straight up. I love layering in the sense of starting with putting a blending base. So that would, for me, that's usually the lightest color in the collection. I then work in a gradient coloring phase where I then use the middle color, so it's a little bit darker, and I usually then stretch out that color over the top and a little bit more. I don't go all the way, and the reason why I'm not going all the way is that I wanted to also create a highlight of the petal, almost like the highest point. So I then start on the outer parts, working my way in. Now, I don't always nail it. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm going to do, but it doesn't necessarily work out. I did love how this flower worked out. However, I did take my time, so this is sped up. And for me, my biggest hurdle is to leaving the white space. I don't know about you, if you've tried Copic colouring or any kind of alcohol-based colouring. When you're colouring floral images, there's a certain kind of highlight that you want to achieve. I think I got it. Like, I'm not the best at it, but gee, it takes a lot of practice. And you know what? What better practice than colouring in and doing something that you love? So I then work into my neutral palette, and I use Y821, Y911. Actually, I think I use Y762. I got there in the end. I work full time, so the story is that I try and film and create at night or on weekends, but without taking family time away. This is my therapy time. So when I'm Copic colouring, when I'm watercolouring, when I'm just creating, it's just my special me time. But I do with my youngest, and I used to with my oldest daughter, create. We used to do stuff like, you know, teachers' gifts. We still do with my youngest, but not as much. She's just growing out of it, but I still make them because I'm still forever grateful to the teachers and their patience. And also, I've got 3 kids. I've got teenagers, and I love them. They are all so beautiful, and they're at beautiful stages of their life. Now, I've got the rectangles die. This is, I have to say, a staple. It has become a staple in my everyday crafting. I've die cut 3 on white cardstock here, 3 of the rectangles. You don't have to. You can cut one by one. But how I work is I actually die cut a couple at a time, and I put some spares away in the back of the sleeve of my pockets. This helps me then easy to grab if I need to make cards on the go. I've got like sparies sitting at the back, and that goes with my word dies, especially for my word dies. Now this craft card stuff, it's dry embossing, and it was the memory box point leaves, I think it is. I put that one away. Now going back to this rectangle, I'm going to figure out a better way to adhere kind of these fine, delicate type of rectangles, so I don't warp the actual straightness of it all. So that's why I use my tool-in-one to kind of help me push it, and I've used a liquid glue so to add that kind of movability for my mistakes. All right, now I foam mounted the hugs, and I've actually just cut my foam squares in half of that because it was the perfect width. I found the thin strips of the adhesive was just too thin. Yeah, I could have probably doubled it up, but I found it easier. And then I put foam squares behind the floral. Now with the floral focus, I spent too much time trying to figure out where the leaves are going to go. So I actually shortened that bit of the clip, and then I placed it on the bottom right of that floral, and I liked it, and I just tucked it under there. So I tucked it so it was directly on the cardstock, whereas the flower was mounted up for a bit of dimension. Now I did want to add a little touch of highlight by adding white gel pens on the end of, you know what, I know there's a name for this, but I can't think of it, at the end of the sprouty bit. You know what I mean. Now, this is a video hop, so please leave a comment. Wow Embossing Powder is going to release or give away their whole brand new collection, the new release. So comment along the hop. It's all our design team members are participating in either the YouTube hop or the Instagram hop. So whatever you feel comfortable. And the YouTube hop, you get to really see a good visual on all these products in use. So I'm so happy to be part of this hop, and I can't wait to read your comments and for you to hop along the way. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate your support and your kindness. So I look forward to reading your comments, and if this is something that you like, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.